Derivative, constant multiple rule. What does this rule mean for the derivative? The constant multiple rule basically means that if you are given a constant times an expression and they want you to take the derivative of it, the things that you need to do is that you take out the k, which is a constant, and then you take the derivative of that particular expression. This is how you do the constant multiple rule. For example, let's say that you're given this derivative and they want us to take the derivative of 4x raised to the third power. So to solve this problem, the first thing you need to do is to take out the constant, which is the 4. And then you times by this expression by taking the derivative of it. So to take the derivative, so it's right here, take out the 4 and take the derivative of x raised to the third power. So the 4 stays the same. To take the derivative of x raised to the third, you bring down the 3, the x stays the same, and as for the 3, you minus 1. You always minus 1. So it becomes 2. This type of derivative is called the power rule. The power rule basically says that if you have a variable raised to an exponent, you just bring down the exponent, which is 3 in this case, and the x always stays the same, and as for the exponent, you always minus 1. That's the formula for taking the derivative of this kind of expression. Make sure that there's no constant in front of here in order to use the power rule derivative. So after you take the derivative of x raised to the third power, you just do the basic algebra. So 4 times 3 equals to 12, x raised to the second power. Example 2. Take the derivative of negative 3 x raised to the second power. So you bring out the negative 3 and then you take the derivative of x raised to the second power. To take the derivative of x to the second, you use the power rule. The power rule basically means that you take down the exponent, which is 2 in this case, and the x stays the same, and then 2 minus 1, so it becomes x. After you do that, just do the basic algebra, so it's negative 6x. Once you get all this cleared up, eventually you don't need to write this d divided by dx because it'll take a lot of your times. So for example 3, take the derivative of 5 raised to the fourth. So you take out the 5 and you times the derivative of x to the 4. So you bring down the 4 and then the x stays the same as for the 4 right here. You minus 1, so it becomes 3. And when you do the algebra, the answer will be like this. I mean, you have to eventually you need to do it faster. You don't need to write this step like all the time. It's just like click, 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 go like that. So the last example is take the derivative of 1 divided by 6x to the fourth. So you bring out 1 divided by 6 times, take the derivative of this. So it'll be 4x to the third. And just do the basic algebra and simplify it. And the answer will be like this. So remember that to take the derivative of a constant multiple rule, recognize that you are given a constant times an expression, and you bring out the constant and you take the derivative of this particular expression by using the power rule.